Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today we're focused on Ripple and XRP. And my question of today is, have you been accumulating XRP within the last month? All right, and this question is not out of nowhere. It's because today I'm revealing a little bit of my strategy. I'm letting you guys know a couple of things about what my plans are surrounding buying and holding and even selling XRP, and of course, a lot of cool crypto news. And also, guys, if you're enjoying the daily crypto news, please support the channel by pressing the like button and subscribing, as I believe 63% or 63 or 64 of you guys are not even subbed and watching, so make sure you just click that button and help me out. Having said that though, yes, I was not kidding at the start of this video. I'm letting you guys in on a little bit of what I am doing and what my plans are surrounding holding XRP. And as I've told you guys, I'm a long-term holder, basically stating I'm not really actively trading XRP every day in, day out. I'm not really doing that anymore. Have I done that in the past? Yes. Are there opportunities for me to do it in the future? Yes. But for right now, it just takes up too much of my time that I do not want to spend there. And thus, if your question was, Dusty, are you trading XRP every single day right now? No, I am not. However, I do actively try to analyze good entries and even good selling points to still make a quick profit anywhere that I possibly could. And to make a long story short, for the last week or so, it's really been itching to buy some more XRP. This has two primary reasons. One, primary reason, is that like double? Who cares? One is that the charts line up perfectly. All right, and I'll show you a little bit of that from a good example here of somebody who can show you in an easy way. And the second one is XRP is below 20 cents. And as I've told you guys before, whenever XRP is below 20, I think it's a good point to buy, right? All right, having said that though, you can see here, yesterday was one of my biggest buys in a very, very long time. And I'm actually planning about 3 to 4 more buys if we do go a little bit lower. However, if we never go lower than this point again, I can tell you guys, I'm already set. I'm already fully freaking prepared for the bull run. All right, so one of the things I can show you guys to make this a little bit simpler here is from the blockchain backer. He has actually also coincidentally stated yesterday, I'm accumulating XRP now, what I see on the Ripple XRP price chart. And for all of you that are wondering about exactly why we're buying and why this point is solid, I recommend watching his video and even maybe videos, multiple of them, because I don't like to talk about price analysis on the channel just because I think it takes away from a very important aspect of crypto, which is technology and really updates and the progress of the revolution of digital assets, instead of just trying to make a quick buck, right? And that's really why you don't see me talk about the prices too often. However, he does, and if you're interested, I recommend checking it out because it might help you out a little bit, right? There's multiple channels, but he does explain really close to my opinion in this video as well. And it's just 4 minutes long, and I always watch everything on ×2 speed. So it only takes about 2 minutes if you really want to watch it. Basically, it states again, he is also buying within this, or at least one of the earlier zones here. He's buying within this zone. He's already done 2. He's another 2 planned, but all within this zone of about 18.5 to 18 or whatever are going to be good. And for me, it's basically the same thing. I think right now we're in a prime, pristine position, and thus I'm accumulating more crypto. All right, again, for more info, just check those 2 things out, but I wanted to let you guys know that I'm buying right now as we are speaking. If we get above 20, not a single XRP is getting bought for a little while, and thus I'm trying to accumulate as much as I can pre-20 or below 20 because I think that's going to be golden for longer term. Again, there's more story behind it all, but you guys hopefully get it now. I'm accumulating. That's what you need to know. All right, you might be wondering a little bit about my motives and a couple of things you might be forgetting. One of those things is, have you forgotten that Ripple and XRP joined ISO 20022? Or yeah, I mean, it's something that is kind of easy to see for most of us that are in it for the long term. You know, that these things are kind of grandfathered in, or they're like just straight up easy and simple and understood. However, I believe a lot of holders are forgetting these things. This integration was no joke, and if you forgot what it was about, look it up on the internet. There's a couple 30-minute videos and a couple shorter ones as well that will explain in depth about why this is so huge. Because guys, this is no joke. And moving along here, a little bit of a question sometimes a lot of you guys ask me about why I do not like to show price analysis is because all of them have two sides. And here's a clear example by Martin Falk. He says on Twitter, "What do you guys think of this? Two articles on the same day. Do you think News BTC is contradicting itself or supporting both sides of the story?" And even Getting It Done one says here, "Bipolar it seems." In the screenshots, it is two articles on News BTC, one being positive on the price and one being bearish on the price. 13 hours ago and 1 hour ago. This is most likely already, yesterday, but you guys get the idea. And basically that's kind of what I state about these websites almost every day that I do cover them in my videos. Almost any one of these websites that does price analysis with a conclusion, right, with a conclusion like this, as you can see here, like XRP comeback could be coming or things like that, will most likely have the counterpart on their website as well. And in the end, what you're doing is you're reading two sides that are almost equally as likely. At least that's what's very often going on. And if you're not, they're most likely just reading a summation of little snippets of price analysis or information that can, or descriptive data, just things that describe what's going on in the chart. Like for example, like the BBs or just simple things that describe what's going on in the chart. A lot of different things I could name there. EMAs, for example, all those things. However, you could do that all yourself. Simplest thing in the world. It takes 5 minutes to put it all into your chart and will never go away again if you don't want to. So what is it going to do for you? Well, maybe show me support and resistance. 9 out of 10 times they just show you one or maybe two supports and resistances, maybe three. All right, how strong are they? When will it get broken, or what do you know about these supports and resistances? Not that much, because they don't tell you in those price analysis. And even if they did tell you, what then? Are you actively going to trade it? Because if you are, then you're using somebody else's small little analysis here to form a whole opinion. That's too scary. I wouldn't recommend ever trading that. And that's also why I don't like to cover them in short once more. Another part of why I'm accumulating right now is, again, the opinion of we're never getting to this point again. And I know that's just something we say all the time, and you shouldn't listen to me when I say that because, again, crazy guy here. But yes, I do sometimes believe that the points we're at right now are going to be unrecognizable in a couple of years, possibly months. And it's something I want to be prepared for because I don't want to FOMO in whenever we don't get back here. And one of those examples here of why I'm so convinced of it all is Ripple changing Nostro-Vostro relationship, head of global banking. You guys all that are watching these videos know what Ripple is about. You know what XRP is doing. So how can we actually expect them to really stay on one level here? Well, only one explanation I could give is some hard-ass manipulation, or actually another one is a scandal. If something crazy stupid were to come out from Brett Garlinghouse, Chris Larson, or some crazy flaw in the XRP code, yeah, I could see how the price would drop tremendously. But you guys hopefully get my story there. So thinking about that, then why? If I know the technology that they got is golden and everybody's gonna want it in the future, they're changing this Nostro-Vostro system, most likely freeing up maybe trillions of dollars in the future. I mean, it's pretty obvious. There's multiple complaints all the time about the current SWIFT system. There's multiple complaints about that. There's also a very much increasing demand for an update to this whole system because it's antiquated, it's old, there's so much friction with all these payments. If you know all of that, then how can you not support Ripple and what they're doing? Is there any catch that I'm not seeing? And if I'm not seeing that, please guys, do not hesitate to let me know. If there's a catch to what Ripple is doing, if they're doing something behind the shades that I'm not seeing, make sure you comment it down below and let me know. Because for all I'm seeing, they're changing the world in a very, very good way. And even if, worst case scenario, even if they're using XRP just to sell it on our heads to get rich, think about that a little step further, all right? They could never sell all the XRP at once, all right? That's just impossible. And thinking about that perspective, it would always be beneficial for them to have a higher XRP price at any given time. At any given time, it would be beneficial for them to have a higher XRP price. So they would always ultimately still benefit from the XRP price going up. Even if that's just $1 or anything like that, that would still benefit you and I as well. And don't forget that as well. Right? Don't forget that. Something you must also keep in the back of your head. I think of all the doom scenarios as well, guys, when I'm investing. All right, what if XRP turned out to be a security? What would happen then? All right, that's things I just don't know, but I try to think about. I try to think about, would I still be comfortable with my hold? And if Ripple were to now, explain that their XRP ecosystem spendings were all just, spendings on their own, Ripple, the company, would I still hold? Yes, I would. And if having put all that on a little bit of a line for myself, I know my hold here is golden. I know what I'm holding. I know I'm fine with it all. Knowing what they're about to do, what they're about to change, makes it all worth it. And here, the head of global banking at Ripple, Marjan de Latine, was asked if Ripple depends on money being locked in Nostro accounts. She replied no, saying the way banks work by depending on Nostro accounts causes trapping of lots of capital. She said sourcing on-demand liquidity utilizing XRP is the only solution to this, as it helps move funds without keeping liquidity in the destination. She said this is what Ripple is working on. She observed that Ripple offers a live product that uses multiple corridors and stated further that this is achieved by using Ripple's native asset XRP as a bridge currency between two fiat currencies, revolutionizing the archaic means of pre-funding accounts that still happens today. Just think about all that money that's just taken out of the system. That's trillions of dollars possibly at one point in the future. Ripple's ODL service goes live with GBP. Azimo confirms. So one of the biggest questions we've often had is, when will all these corridors open up? Because right now we got 5, but we've been hearing a couple of things the last couple of days, which could bring it to 10 within the next, let's say couple of months, maybe next month even, to 10 pairs. At least that's the pace they're working on. Thinking about that as well, what's stopping them from really taking over all these pairs, right? At least our analysis a little bit earlier, a couple weeks ago, showed that it's the countries themselves and the pairs having a lot of restrictions and not being easy at all to deal with. However, we all know with the pace that they're going at, eventually they'll get all the pairs. Eventually they'll get themselves everywhere. And thinking from that perspective again, Nostro Vostro, that system is going to be deleted. It's just not going to be existent anymore. And piece by piece, they're getting themselves live in different corridors, and they'll get there. All right, another little piece on the price, a little snippet, is from, started 2 days ago from Neil Creation Capital. He said, last buying opportunity for XRP below 19 cents is coming. I have my buys set. The next 12 to 24 hours, I'm expecting the move. Then we're off to the races. You have been warned. And this guy was not kidding around when he said that, because, well, right now we are quite a ways above 19 cents at 19.2. So it was true. Yesterday was the latest point to buy below 19 cents at about 18.4, 18.5. Moving a little bit further though, playing out, right? We went down a little bit further from the channel, played out perfectly. XRP even broke 17.9 cents Now up it goes. Was that a bear trap or is this a bull trap? I'll be talking about this on my live stream tonight. Are you bearish or bullish? And just now he posted, here it is on the 2-hour time frame, XRP. I'll try to do more updates via Twitter from now on. Let me know if you guys want chart updates here or not. I can do more than just XRP. But it's kind of fun to me as well to see here how perfectly that played out and how perfectly our strategy is working for now. All right, and I'm not trying to say, hey, buy my trading cores or anything like that. No, guys, that's not what these videos are for. These videos are to give you guys a little bit of an intuition about what my thought process is in most of this. And one part about it is knowing what type of analysis you could do and choosing to do a certain type at any point you desire. So as I said before, I most likely will understand about 95% of the charts you can throw at me. Again, about the just normal people who try. However, I will skip about 95% of those even, about 95% of the time, using the 95% two standard deviation rule. So one of the reasons I'm doing that is because I know for a fact you'll not receive any valuable information. And it's just kind of a using mental capacity here, brain capacity, for no good purpose. Same as reading, at least to me, a lot of those riddles. I'm just thinking you're wasting your capacity, you're wasting your brain, wasting your time. Same for a lot of those shameless people who say moon is coming or things like that. It's just plain up useless, waste of time. And I do not support that type of stuff. However, again, some are useful, and sometimes it is useful to read into some stuff. And he also, in my opinion, deserves a follow. XRP researcher posted on Twitter just now, WhatsApp launched payment service in Brazil with Facebook. I'm so confused. Did the central bankers in Brazil meet with Ripple to tell them they choose Facebook and Libra over Ripple in the ledger? Or what? Well, one thing I must let you guys know is that this WhatsApp launches payments in Brazil ordeal will most likely be greatly hyped. All right, and I saw it earlier today, but I thought I didn't want to include it in my previous video because I wanted to get my story straight. And now that I have more info, I know. I've seen a lot of people claim that Facebook and WhatsApp are now working with Ripple, or that this is a grand thing going on because Brazil just got their Ripple corridor. However, this is not the case. If Ripple were working with them, you would know. However, since Facebook is in play here, there's almost no chance, and I would estimate that at 0.001. No, maybe 0.01, 1%. No, we're going to go for 0.01% actually, to make it very, very small, of a chance that Ripple is working with Facebook just because Libra is a standalone entity, and I don't think they want anything to do with that. So thinking that it's Ripple going on here is possible, but is too unlikely for me to work with. Just saying. All right, just a little bit of an update as well about this Brazil stuff. Shamelessly plug in my day job here. I'm the product manager for Ripple Cloud or RippleNet Cloud. Brazil's Banco Rendimento is the first bank to connect to RippleNet Cloud, joining names like Azimo and MoneyGram. And I just quickly wanted to clarify what partnership with Brazil I was referring to earlier. Not the corridor with Brazil, but the partnership I was referring to earlier. All right. James Rule asks this question, which I also want to ask you guys about. He asks, a lot of questions from the XP community. I would like feedback from everyone, please. One in particular, what do you do when you make millions off of digital assets? Leave it on the exchange, put it in an IRA, put it in several banks, cash it out a little at a time. I understand that there are tax consequences and an IRA would be the best option if you're near retirement age, but what would you do? And it's something I'm also asking you guys just right now. What would you do if you had millions of dollars in crypto locked up? XRP went to $10, $200, you pick something. What would you do with your all newly earned money? and how would you cash it out? I'm looking for some creative ideas and some insights because I thought about it and it's pretty damn difficult, I concluded. And then also Mr. G XRP 007 says XRP community is fearless. We are the new 1%. XRP is the future of any payment, currency, or commodity. No price fix for XRP. And that's just something I want to end it off with here. We are the new 1%. However, what exactly XRP is going to mean for the future is still uncertain. And even I am investing right now, but I can't tell you exactly how it will turn out. Maybe it's going to be a flop. Maybe I'm going to lose all my money. I'm prepared for it all. And that's what you need to be whenever you're investing. You need to be prepared to lose some money as well in the process. Most likely will not happen, but I'm prepared for it if it does. And that's why these videos are not financial advice at all. They're just to give you guys some ideas about what my thought process is into a lot of these things. And even again, I'm not showing you guys price analysis because if you don't understand it yourself, it's most likely not worth the whole hassle. Again, check these guys out who focus on it, on explaining it to you guys if you want to check it through. Otherwise, if you want to trade it actively, try to master the art of what's going on before you attempt it. Because I think you're going to lose a lot of money otherwise, and I just don't want to, don't want to encourage that. So the best thing you can do then is just going for the long-term hold, which again doesn't really take much effort or thinking. You can just buy it at any point and you'll most likely be fine. But if you want some supreme entries, again, just walk with me as I tell you guys as well when I'm buying, and will most likely just be fine. For example, now sub 20, we will always be good. If it goes to 10 cents, you'll just trail your way down and buy more as it goes down lower. There's really no lose scenario unless XRP goes to 0 or again, a scandal occurs or some big problems happen, which again have such a low likelihood of occurring because that's the same for any big stock or any Bitcoin and any other coin out there. There's things that could make it just completely worthless, but they're just really in a small corner. Same for gold. If somebody were to find a new way to create new gold, there goes the store of value because it's not scarce anymore. I mean, it's possible, but what are the chances of that happening, right? If you really see from that perspective, again, most likely all these prices to buy XRP are good, and you don't really have to wait for any of these guys to tell you something. But again, hopefully you guys got my whole story. Hopefully you got all the info that I want to give you guys here. It's a little bit less informative of a video in terms of news, but more so mindset, because I think that's equally important when investing in cryptocurrencies, that you have the right mindset about it all and you kind of know what you're doing, right? In my previous video, I also warned people about making the possibly billion-dollar mistake of just going into trading without knowing what you're doing and doing it with too much money. All right, I've personally lost thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars in mistakes over the years just by being too ignorant or just by being too quick or just not having the right mindset or possibly letting psychology take over. And with me are thousands, if not millions of other people. No, for surely millions of other people who have made exactly the same mistakes as I have. And since I don't want you guys to make them as well, just take it from me. Prepare before you get into trading fully and start with some smaller money or just hold through it and you'll be fine. Again, that was the last time I'll repeat it. Thank you guys all for watching these videos. Hopefully you all enjoyed them, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video soon. And please answer my question if you have been accumulating XRP, because as a community, it's a lot simpler to see what everybody's doing and what everybody's thought process is. And again, if you really want to have a little bit more of a community, join my Facebook group, follow me on Twitter, or check out Discord. You can always talk in any of those and I'll most likely reply or can talk to you or whatever. And I think it's a good thing to do. Also, the comment section is fine. I read almost all the comments. Don't reply as often, but I'll definitely read what you've said. So make sure you do any of those things. See you guys again in another crypto video.